The Sigma FP has an official dummy battery to DC adapter that can allow you to run the camera pretty much indefinitely. It is called the CM21 connector, and it has a weird DC input, which is not the standard 5.5 by 2.5 mm barrel size, which is most commonly used. There's no mention of the voltage or current specification in the manual or even on their website. So I did a little experiment and found a cheap solution. You'll need a 4.8 by 1.7 mm converter. I found this one, which fits quite well, although I'll be careful about not tugging it, as it's not a very snug fit. You can also search for universal laptop charger adapter, and this one will be there, hopefully. So just put the dummy battery in the camera and route the cable out through this little flap. For the battery, I went with this product, which sells as a router UPS. It has both the 9V and 12V DC output, as well as a 5V USB out. The total power output is 30 watts, which is more than enough. The weight is around 300 grams. You can also go for the Power Junkie, but that, along with a separate NPF battery, is more than double the price of this setup and potentially heavier as well. Now, as you can see, the camera powers on just fine when I connect it to the 9V DC port. I think the 12V might be too much voltage, and I haven't tried connecting to that port. I don't want to risk damaging my camera, but 9V seems to work just fine. You can mount the battery to the side of the Sigma FP, as it has a 1/4 thread hole on both sides, which is very useful. I'm using a simple phone mount for this. This battery can be charged while using, which is great. That means basically unlimited recording. Now for the handheld setup, instead of going for a small rig cage, which again is grossly overpriced, I went with this super cheap Cam Caddy ripoff stabilizer thing. It has a flimsy plastic build, but gives me a decent top handle and a monitor mount, which is basically all I need for a handheld rig, along with a stabilized lens like this Tamron 35mm 1.8 VC. But keep in mind that out of the box, this lens, along with the MC21 mount adapter, doesn't provide stabilization for video. You have to buy the Tamron tap-in console and change a setting to enable stabilization during video recording. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that later. Oh, and this is a DIY USB clamp and SSD mount that I built with magnets. Because the Sigma FP comes with a HDMI cable clamp lock thing, but not a USB lock. And the USB cable is just unprotected and it comes out very easily. So yeah, I built this ugly looking thing with some junk I had lying around. Didn't cost me anything. So this is my handheld setup. The only thing I might add later on is a follow focus. I really want to get that new PD Movie Live Air 2, but I might just go for a traditional 15mm rail follow focus. So yeah, that's it. This was my ghetto Sigma FP rig power solution. I hope this was useful.